Hello everyone, it's Nick here and we're looking at an early game on the ZX Spectrum 48K. This one's called The Birds and the Bees as we listen to the flight of the bumblebee, published by Byte software in 1983. It's quite a basic game, this one. You control a bee from Birkenhead called Boris and you're controlling in the quest for nectar from plants. That's it folks, so you get to the plants, collect the nectar, then get back to the hive to deposit the pollen, and it goes on until you are dead. Here's Boris here. What complicates this game is you must avoid bees, no not bees, other insects, bears, wasps, centipedes, everything that's trying to kill you on your way. Now, if you bump into the plants here, the green bits at the top, it turns into a flower, you've got your pollen, now it's back to base. A little bit of colour bleed on this, but it's from 1983, so who cares? There's a bit of inertia on the control of the bee, which gives it a bit of style. The more pollen that you collect, the slower the bee goes. But there's no time limit here, and the plants do regenerate. So just get as many points, as you can, and I fly into a pigeon, which means instant death. Good. So yeah, a nice pleasant game. Now you've also noticed, which is clever on this, at the bottom, all those white dots floating around, that's a sort of scanner. I'm not sure quite how accurate that is, but if you look at that, you should be able to get a bit of a guide. You can ditch pollen if you think you're going a bit slow by hitting B or any button along the bottom of the keyboard. You'll see a plane there carrying the Byte banner at any stage. And it just goes on and on and on really. Good animation. You'll see sort of a black bar that goes up and down depending on how much pollen we've got, and that tells us what the maximum we can do. If you collect the maximum pollen you can possibly carry, Boris just goes incredibly slow and is a bit heavy to control as well. Back to the hive. Boomer. Whoever's collecting the honey of this is going to do quite well. It is said in the instructions, if you get lots and lots of honey, a bear will turn up because they do get attracted by the honey. On the bottom right, you can see the high score, which is 0 at the moment. The more goes you have, hopefully that'll go up. But if you reload the game on the cassette, it doesn't save it. So you start from scratch all over again. Hooray! So 8-bit glory, quite early 80s when gaming was just getting off to a start. And this is a good game for that era. I like it. Couldn't get away with it nowadays, of course. If this come out on the PlayStation 4 or Xbox One, PC, people would say, what the hell is going on here? Brilliant. Go, go, go. Oh, centipede. Yeah, we've flown into the back regions of a pigeon, which is never good, even on a game or whatever. Other B games, if you want to look at specifically B games, are Arpeggio on the Commodore Amiga, which is a bit more advanced than this, got funkier music. This has got no music at all, apart from at the start. I like this. From a historic point of view, I think this is good. I didn't really play this back in the day. I think that's when I reviewed Pust, P-S-S-S-T, or another game. I said what other gardening games or B games there were, and someone, I can't remember who, so well done it was you, mentioned this game, so I added it to the list. And eventually, it might take months or even years, eventually I will come to it, because these lists are quite big with games people suggest. But I'm glad that we've come to this one, as Boris collects his nectar. What a quest, what a basic game. Dilly. It's got Matthew Smith's name there, Control Manic Miner, which is also published by Byte originally. I'm not sure if he wrote this. I don't think he did. I don't know why his name's on it, so he's probably had some involvement. Funky. This is the best bit of the game. I mean, this music is genius. Yes, good stuff. Byte software, they're all the rage back then. Here we go. Let's take Boris out for another flight. Lives 4, as you can see. Don't get killed by the cloud or the sun. Probably 3 is probably a safe amount to get to. You can control the speed to give you a bit more control, but there is inertia with this B, as I mentioned here, so it's not just plain sailing up, down, left, right. He does float around a bit, which gives you a bit of a sense of flight, which is good for an early game. Back to base. Go, Boris, go. I think Boris Johnson was maybe named after this bee. Or maybe the bee was named after Boris Johnson, but he wasn't famous then. Total nightmare. Right, clouds are good. That's a low-lying cloud. Boom. The high score is 6,040, which some top player put in. I think it might have been me. Probably was. We're not going to play this for hours. We'll just get a sort of review. But you can see all the gameplay immediately from this, can't you? Feels a bit like a homebrew, but it isn't. Well, I suppose they was all homebrews back then, wasn't they? Everyone was coding in their bedroom. And it's a sort of thing where, what an era, eh? Imagine that, if you didn't live through that, imagine that you're in your bedroom, you play a few Spectrum games, think, right, I'm going to try and get a Spectrum game published, and you start writing it. You design the graphics, the coding, what's going to happen, and some people actually did get their games published. Fantastic. You could not imagine that nowadays, can you? A kid gets home after he plays Assassin's Creed or Drive Club, thinks, right, I'm going to code a game like that. That's not happening. Not happening. So everyone, back then, everyone had a chance. It was a time where anyone could seemingly have a top 10 hit. Footballers release a song and it'd be #1 for some reason. That's never going to happen now. Bug Byte, the plane says. A variety of different things to kill you here. That pigeon seems to be stuck on a plant for some odd reason. They don't seem to come at you. I think it's random how they're generated. I do know a poke for this for infinite energy, but I think because it's so basic, it'd ruin putting that on. So I'm just gonna collect as much pollen as I can. So you see the black bar down the bottom there above the scanner. That's the maximum pollen I'm carrying. So I can't. Oops. Yeah, should have dropped some. So it makes it super tough. But that's my quest to try and get the high. Oh dear, that was my quest to try and get the highest score there. Lives left 2. There's a maximum amount of playfield, we should say, you can go to, so you can't go on forever. It doesn't go round and round. One more. We've got the high score, everyone. Well done. Right, that's enough pollen for the time being, or nectar. Let's get back to... Oh, should we risk a few more? Yes. Boom. Let's be really greedy with it, right? Oh, the bee's getting a bit heavy here. Good. The most scariest bee is hepatitis B. Let's go. That'd be good music for this. Beach Boys. If that was playing, that'd be awesome. If they redo this on 128k, please put the Beach Boys music on. Fun, fun, fun. And I've been killed by a pigeon, and that wasn't fun. Whoa. Take avoiding action. Let that be a lesson. If you're a bee watching this, comment below. How is the collecting pollen business? Is it like this? Is it realistic? Or is it nothing like the field where you go and collect pollen? Do you get lone bees? Or they go around in packs? There's lots of questions for you. What do you think of this game? A good early example, or do you think it's an awful game? If it's released now, it wouldn't stand up to much, but 1983, people. 1983. Kids at home, not going out, playing this. I don't remember talking about it in the playground, or anyone talking about it in the playground, but there was absolutely thousands and thousands and thousands of games then, so unless it was a big blockbuster, you never would have heard of it, most of the time. There are some gems around. A different era, simpler times. Let's go back then. The food wasn't quite as good though, I don't think. You couldn't go to the supermarket and pick up Indian food or decent... Yeah. Anyway, corned beef sandwiches. There was a lot of that going on. Boom. We've got 1 life left? Or does that mean 2 lives left? Possibly. Go Boris the Bee. There is a sequel to this called Antics, which came out a year later in 1984, which I'm sure we'll review at some point. And this is my last life, you might be glad to hear. Come on, let's get the nectar in there as that pigeon flies almost stationary. Past the sun again. He doesn't seem that impressed by it. Hover here, hover here. Bees apparently can't fly. By their design. See, they don't know how they can fly, but they can fly, so we won't worry about it. Right, oh, no, I saw that coming a mile off. That's it, that's all the life is exhausted, it's the end of the bee. Let's listen to this music for a bit. Dance around the room if you want. Pretend to be a bee. Well, I think that's enough of that. I hope you liked having a look at that game. That was The Birds and the Bees on the ZX Spectrum 48K, published by Byte software in 1983. If you've got any comments about this game, any early Spectrum games, or retro gaming in general, or just any old rubbish, then put it below. Until next time, take great care of yourself and a very fond goodbye.
Goodbye.